Hello, everybody. This is God is Imaginary, episode 4. I'm a bit late today. You can tell from my hair. I overslept, unfortunately, but we're still doing the show. It's still Sunday. Hope everyone's enjoying it. Just a reminder to everyone that's watching, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you can click that. You can't click it. You can type in that link to Discord server, and you can join me live to talk to me to discuss things. However, if you're watching this on Arma, then you can join to talk to me still through that Discord. However, you won't be talking to me live because you're watching the show from 2 weeks ago. You guys are 2 weeks behind. It's just the way television works. Arma doesn't have like a direct live feed, whatever, and I can't get down to their studio and film it because they don't even have any infrastructure there because nobody funds them, and that's really sad. I just noticed I didn't even update the date. I didn't mean to make you guys think you're watching a rerun here. Yes, there we are. March 30th, 2025. Hope everyone is doing well. So I got some comments on my last show on God is Imaginary. I'm pulling it up right now. Just give me a moment. It's just me doing this, guys. Not a professional. All right, so here we go. So in the last show, I talked about essentially faith a lot. How a lot of people use it to just either just blindly justify their beliefs without any actual intelligence behind it or any principle or logic or reasoning. They just say, "Well, it's my faith, and we can't discuss it because it's rude and socially improper to discuss it. To discuss like the contradictions, etc." I don't really understand it, but it's just what it is. I've just joined my Discord server if anyone's looking to join. So I didn't realize I'm showing the whole monitor. So we're gonna go over some of the comments that I received. They were some were nice. Great video. Looking forward to more of your content. That's really appreciated. Tammy Spots. And then we got Baraphone 2623. I like the people that are just random name, bunch of numbers. Oh, guess what? They've never uploaded anything in their life because they just sit around their fucking house all day and do nothing. I've already sworn. Damn it. All right. It is a bit ironic that the atheist cartoon character's room looks a bit like yours, :D. By the way, do you do drag, or why is your Chanel called that? All right, so there's a lot of idiocy It's actually like a masterful task here. The amount of idiocy that has been compacted here is really quite elegant. It's like a haiku, just with like moronic takes. Okay, so let's start. It is a bit ironic that the atheist cartoon character's room looks a bit like yours. Now, what they're talking about is we watched a show Made by Jim Bob. The guy's name is Made by Jim Bob. And he had like a little atheist straw man where like the atheist lived in like a little gooner shed, and he had like My Little Pony porn in the background, and like he had literally all the tropes. Like he taped what is it, Charles Darwin to like the wall or something. It just like in real life, of course. Christians in real life, however, don't mount crucifixes to the walls of their house or like theme their entire house around Christianity at all. That's not like an actual thing that Christians do. Let's do a straw man of what atheists do. And also that's not irony. That's actually what you would expect from a stereotype. It's not ironic at all. It's actually the exact opposite of irony. By the way, do you do drag, or why is your Chanel called that? What's beautiful about this is that this comment is edited, which means that this is the version they were most proud of, and they still have tons of like spelling errors and just general syntax stuff. So, by the way, do you do drag? The channel's called Drake Dragsaw. It's called alliteration for branding purposes. I know you've never like created or written or filmed or drawn or painted or composed anything in your life. You've literally done nothing but just write half literate comments on people's videos trying to antagonize them. But no, I do not do drag. However, I also don't see how that would discredit my arguments if I did. Like let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say I do drag. And does that make my arguments less salient? Does that doesn't do anything. That's just a really lame ad hominem. Like, you could call me like a pedophile or something if you want to ad hominem me, but you're just going like, oh, I bet you do drag. A lot of people do drag. A lot of Christians do drag. Is that an indication of their moral character? I wouldn't have thought so, but I guess that. Or why is your Chanel called that? Okay, so I asked him to join me live, which, surprise, surprise, he's not joining me live because, whoa, surprise, like really shocked about that, truly. So I asked him to join me live. He says that response doesn't even make any sense. A bit heavy on the conjunctions there. But I don't know how it doesn't make sense. I would prefer you to join me live so I can speak to you face to face and make content out of you. This is what I've got to settle for because you're just, you're willing to type up this dumb shit, but you don't want to like actually discuss it. Oh, I bet you do drag. Oh, that's a good one. You're like, that was really clever there. How long did you stay up thinking about that? This episode came out 14 days ago. This comment was written 10 days ago. Did it take you that 4 whole days to think of like that epic comeback? That takedown of my whole character and argumentation? So I come live. You do what live? And then say that your room looks similar to the room in the cartoon, and then I ask you if you do drag? What's the point? Now, he's actually remarkably self-aware here, because I think, like, he's able to identify what's the point in even this original comment, but he doesn't see how there's no point in leaving that dumbass comment in the first place. What's the point? Gee, there is no point. You're just talking shit. Like, if you want to have an actual discussion, let's have an actual discussion. But you're just like, you leave easily respondable, low quality, annoying shit. If you think either of those things indicates anything about the validity of my character, then join me live on the 30th to discuss or just yap unanswered. Man, this is dumb. This is just dumb. You really don't seem like someone where you can have a fruitful conversation. Well then, show me live. Show me on my own show. Show me up, because you're just here, like, literally just having a straight stream of consciousness, that's probably it, from your brain to the keyboard without any sort of, like, filter as to if anything you're saying is relevant or important at all, or like even has any meaning regardless. I was not yapping. Okay. Well, I say you were, so I guess see you in fucking court, buddy. And you didn't answer at all. I didn't claim that this has merit on your arguments. The whole show is my arguments. The whole show, God is imaginary. Oh, other way. Is me making arguments to prove that God is imaginary. Literally why God is imaginary. The show literally is me debating with Christians about God being imaginary. That is literally the whole show. So why else would you be saying this if it was not to, like, defame my character? Literally don't see the relevance at all. Again, also, this Barophone 2623, dumb name bunch of numbers, doesn't have any salient points. So I say again, speak to me on the show or get ignored. Bye. And there he goes. Now, debate Jay Dyer. I just go, sure. Who's that? Let's take a look. Who is Jay Dyer? Jay Dyer is an author, comedian, writer for the Sam Hyde Show. Yeah, the wholly impartial Jay Dyer. He'd have a yeah. I would love to speak with him. Actually, I would. So like you just tell me debate Jay Dyer. Okay, sure, put him on. But I also like how insular these guys' like spheres are, where they assume that I'll know like some right wing alt right dumbass like Jay Dyer. Like I'm within their sphere of just four people. Bro, God is real. Join me in the Discord call if you want to discuss it. Otherwise, shut up. Debates Jay Dyer. Okay, whatever. I don't even know who the hell that is really. He's associated with Sam Hyde, who's donated $5,000 to neo Nazis. So that's a pretty. Sam Hyde also like regularly retweets like Holocaust denial, like anti-Holocaust stuff on his Twitter. So I would be hesitant to accept that this guy is maybe the most impartial or the most interesting person to talk to even. Well, maybe interesting, but just like having an actual intelligent discussion with. But sure, Jay Dyer, your name's been called into the hat, buddy. Called into the hat. That's not name. Your hat has been thrown into the ring. That's what I meant. Okay. The irony. Again, there's people insisting irony, but he actually has some point to it, it looks like. You do realize that you have faith as well in your worldview. No, faith is just believing in something blindly without evidence. I have evidence to support the reasons I believe that God is imaginary. Number one, the complete lack of evidence that God even exists. That's a pretty big piece of evidence to the contrary, that God does not exist. Things that exist have evidence to support that they exist, and there's not a single shred of evidence that God exists. In the Bible itself, there's 5 billion times where he appears before people, and then he doesn't ever for the last, reportedly 2,000 years. Interesting. There's tons of things in the Bible where, pray that this will happen and it'll come true. If you pray for a coin to flip 10 times in a row, that coin's not going to flip 10 times in a row with the exact result that you are premonitioning in your head, or even say out loud, or whatever. We have evidence that God exists. Okay, talk about it in the Discord server. I got a Discord server. We can discuss it live. Otherwise, shut up. Okay. You're just too you're just too blind to accept that. I've been around this earth, 20 I've been on this earth 21 years, buddy. I've been pretty I've searched pretty thoroughly. There is no evidence that God exists. You have not also contradicted the point that I made that, in the Bible there are things that support that, God appears before people, or you pray for God and then God will make the impossible happen. Never happened before. Never been recorded, never happened to me. I've tried it. So yeah. No, I'm not gonna read some dumbass logical argument. I'll paste a logical argument that shows you a maverick being frank. No thank you, not gonna read it. It's dumb. Back to this. You do realize that you have faith as well as in your worldview, and the definition you gave wasn't even the definition of faith. The definition of faith, I give my definition of faith to make sure that there's common understanding what I mean by faith. Faith just means you believe in something blindly. That is something that Christians wear on their sleeve, despite, things that make them test their faith. They still go, but I still have faith. That's like the argument, even though, testing their faith, i.e. things that contradict their worldview. How can you speak for, hang on, I skipped a line here. You don't know why people believe in religion or not, so I don't know why you speak as if you do, because I do know why people believe in religion for the reasons I enumerated last episode. They believe in religion because they're scared of the alternative, or it's just their modus operandi. They're afraid of hell. They think it makes them better than other people. They want camaraderie with other people. There's tons of reasons with it, but yeah. Oh, so some guy's gone and copy pasted some dumb little logical argument in support of Christianity being a thing, but he just copied it off some like Christian website. I've actually like fully dismantled this the so-called logical argument. Let me see if I can pull this on the glass here. I've fully dismantled this logical argument, quote unquote, according to him previously. Oh, he got me there, guys. U equals shit. Got it. Again, I'm not going to talk to you in chat. This is a television show. You're going to come on the show and talk to me with this, or I'm just going to ignore you. Anyways. So, how can you speak for all people when you don't even know all people? Because, like, literally every Christian I've ever met, any theist, actually, I've ever met, falls into those categories. If you have different, reason, then, feel free to share it. But you won't, because there is no other reasons. I didn't list all the reasons in that earlier thing, by the way. I had it in my previous episode. Anywho, not gonna watch this whole video because you already started off strawmanning and misrepresenting Christian is. So I have no need to listen to straw man arguments to things we don't even believe. Whatever, dude, because I was totally accurate in the things I listed. Dismantle it. You can't. Well, come on the show and we can discuss it. So, I asked this guy, debate me on the show. You know the link. Actually, don't know the link. I don't watch you. What topics do you want to debate? Nor do I really care to debate. I don't care about looking more intelligent than you because, quite frankly, I have more important thing in my life, and I rather engage with someone open-minded. See, that's the thing. They use the term open-minded, keep an open mind, this and that. You don't know what's real or not. You don't know the world incontrovertibly. Because, all right, get the fuck out of here. Like, if you're gonna leave dumbass shit like this, guess what? Bye. Bye. If you're not gonna talk to me on the show, bye. I'm not reading your dumbass words. More important thing in my life, like leaving comments under God is imaginary. Come on, dude. And I rather engage with someone open-minded, willing to listen, but send me the link, and I'll think about it. This guy doesn't even know how YouTube works. If I sent him the link to the Discord server, that comment would get hidden. He wouldn't understand. He wouldn't get it because it'd be a spam, because YouTube would label it as a spam comment. He doesn't know how the YouTube comment section works, but he wants to suppose to me that he knows how the entire universe was created, and he knows, everything about it from this here. He knows it, but he doesn't know how fucking YouTube comment section works, or what type of S he needs for Christians. By the way, this is like 3 comments in a row, but no one is avoiding you, talking about, I know the link, like, bro, I don't know you at all. Ha ha ha, laughing till crying. Premises take a bunch and top it all off. You just resorted to insults after. Thank you, Arisen Rose LX. I appreciate that. So, like I said, the link is in the banner at the top here. Check it out. Right up there. Type that into Discord. You can talk to me live. Otherwise, shut up. I usually don't debate atheist, singular. I'm tired of that. There's no point. You're not going to convince me, and I'm not going to convince you. Well, here's the thing, is that I'm fully open to being convinced. I'm fully open to being persuaded. I'm fully open to listening to your arguments to try and persuade me, because believe it or not, my worldview would actually change with the reception of new information. Christians have been playing this game of hopscotch for the last 2,000 years to justify, just beyond the clouds, heaven is really there, and then, we see that space is up there. They had to deny the existence of space, and then, the Earth is only 6,000 years old, and Noah got literally every species of animal onto a single ark to save everyone from the flood. No evidence of any mass flood. No evidence of any ark that'd be large enough to support literally every fucking species of animal that ever existed, including dinosaurs, etc. Once again, with dinosaurs too, those contradict the timeline of being only the world being 6,000 years old, which is what Christians extrapolate from the Bible. So, you know, they concede that, okay, I guess dinosaurs are real, but evolution is... Oh, Tangelo just joined us. Hello. Dude, no, just join the VC. No, we're not discussing. Join the live channel and talk to me. I usually don't debate atheists. I'm tired of that. There's no point. You're not going to convince me, and I'm not going to convince you. Pointless debate and waste of time. I will, and you're, again, another thing, it's the edited comment, but it's still the wrong form of your. Like, he doesn't know the difference between you are and your. You're gonna do nothing about it because you don't have the ability to shut me up. Really? I don't? I really don't. Leaving this under my own, YouTube stream. That is so funny. How do you explain our existence with the other creator? Talk to me in the Discord. Join the voice call. We're not gonna discuss it in chat. This is a television show. I think he is just a hater of God, to be honest. What? A hater of God? Me? Damn, I thought I was doing a good job of hiding it. It seems I've been figured out. Some people just hate the idea of absolute good because it reveals evil. Oh, that's why. See, because my side is good, so you don't like my side because you are bad. That's it. Toxic. I like that you just equate your side with absolute total good. This is I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted by the chat. This is just gibberish, brother. Hence, God's revealingly our edgeless, all-wise, incestual affinitizer. Dude, you gotta speak English. So, by the way, you can't. God is the absolute good. You know, because no harm has ever happened to anyone that's not been Christian or anything, or even people that have been Christian that are the victims of cancer or murder or things like that. That's hilarious. So you admit that you simply hate the idea of what the God represents. I mean, partially, I don't agree with just an arbitrary book dictating this is good. So if you oppose this, you are bad. I don't agree with the idea of absolute good because what's good changes literally even from state to state here in the United States. I'm in the chat. No, voice call. Oh, you're there. Okay, hang on just a second. Give me just a moment. Actually, this is not me avoiding you. We're just gonna go to a commercial for 1 minute, and then when we come back, we'll get O10 Jello Grasso on the show. We'll see you in a minute. All right, we got O Tangelo in the waiting room. I'm going to drag him over to the live, and then we'll see what he has to say. He said in the YouTube, how do you explain our existence without a creator? I guess that's the topic of discussion. Hello, you're on the show. Welcome, Otangelo, is that right? Otangelo. Oh. Doesn't like that. Didn't like that. Everything all right? All right, so you're annoying. Okay. That's fine. You're in the chat room, but like you're not gonna the whole point of the server is to talk to me live. Are you gonna have an argument? We're gonna have a discussion? We're hosting the show on your terms now. Is that what's happened? You're gonna take over the show and decide, hey, you're gonna wait on me when I'm ready to do it. No, I host the show. I do the show when I want to. I want this discussion now. Are we doing this? All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye. You saw that, right? Like, you don't get to just say, oh, I'm ready to discuss it. I'm ready to talk in the voice channel. Let's talk, though, about, I have to extrapolate his damn argument because he didn't want to talk. How do you explain our existence without a creator? We don't need a creator. We exist to this, like, us as humans exist to this point because we evolved to have traits that allow us to further propagate into the future, right? That's just that's a self-checking natural thing, right? If we don't have traits that benefit us to survive, we go extinct, like 99.5% of species do. What a fucking jackass, dude. Like, he actually, dude, that just totally tilted me. Like, just waste my time with that shit. Having a big patience would be helpful. No. Goodbye. You're gone. You had your chance and you blew it. You blew it. Bye-bye. Someone else can come by. I know there's other Christians out there in the world. All right, so let's go back to this. Gotta change the display here because he's got to make the show about him. Hijack the show and then waste my time. Cool. All right, back to this. So you admit that you simply hate the idea of what the god represents. Sure, I hate the idea of just an arbitrary, inarguable good versus evil. Because, like, even in the United States, depending on which state you live in, the laws dictate, what good and what evil is. Some laws allow you to have, some states allow you to, still have abortions, to have the choice to decide whether or not, you want to have a kid or not. And some states are like, if you get pregnant, it is your responsibility to carry that kid to term, no exceptions, or very rare exceptions if they do get the exceptions. So, in some states, they consider that, a bad thing, abortion. In some states, they consider it a moral right for you to be able to decide whether or not you want to have a child. I personally think if you don't want to have a child, you should have the right to eject from it, but this isn't a politics stream. But that's my point. And, like, what's good and evil is not even, God is our ontic opposite. Yeah, shut up, dude. What's good versus evil, is this thing that we can argue and debate. Like, we can debate abortion. We can debate, Social Security. Some people are saying, well, you're not entitled to handouts. You aren't entitled to food stamps or anything like that. You're like, my money should be going to important things like bombing Gaza. Exactly, but yet his atheism provides no better alternative. I don't know why they're like, I don't need to provide a better alternative. I'm describing how the world works. Like, it's like the world isn't good or bad. The world just is. The world just is what it is. There is no God. That's not a bad or good thing. It's just what the world is. Meta revelation is our... We know this. I don't even understand what you're saying, buddy. We got some schizophrenic in the chat. Like, is how meta revelation is how we like talk to me in the Discord server and don't waste my time like fucking around. Why should people stop being Christians if we have testimony of people being addicted to drugs, gambling, etc.? We also have testimony of people overdosing on drugs, going into crippling gambling debt. So what? If you're saying that those miracles where people weren't able to quit those vices before drugs, what about the, the people that turn to God to get out of those vices and don't end up getting out of them? What about those people? Like, that's the thing. That's actually a very interesting point. Lord willing, I'll hop on the show and press him on this a little more. Well, I'm doing the show now, so waiting on it. Sorry, I was just checking this out. I was just checking out that final statement there. What's funny is that the reason why Christianity is so popular among like drug addicts or gambling addicts is because when you're a drug addict, you have to do some really desperate, really evil things to people. Drug addicts like rob people, they burglarize houses, they terrorize people. They beat people, etc., because they need that drug so badly. Their brain is so infected with this disease, right? And, it's a disease, and it changes your brain chemistry and makes you capable of some really wicked things. However, you are still responsible for the things that you do. You can't say, a lot of Christians, however, when they get out of that cycle, after they've committed horrible atrocities against other people, after they get out of that, they get to say, I was infected by God, by Satan. I wasn't with God. That's why I did that. I had an uncle who was talking in 2020 when the Black Lives Matter movement was in full swing. I don't need to waste my time to join a voice chat. Well, I don't need to waste my time reading your chats. So there we go. Guess we're at just a standoff here. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. You're actually just distracting me, dude. I'm just gonna ignore you. All right. I can't even remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so they go, now that I've turned to God, I'm redeemed. I'm a good person now. It's the easiest redemption arc ever because, without a God, you'd actually have to reconcile with these people you've hurt. You'd actually have to improve your moral character, and you'd have to live with the decisions that you made. I had a neighbor, right? A meth addict, broke into my apartment, stole things out of my apartment, and to this day, he still posts on Twitter, on Facebook, about how, he was saved by God because he found another place to live. And, he has a lot of stuff like, don't judge me for my past, or you're a weak individual. And it's like, no, your past is who you are. My past is who I am. The decisions I made in the past lead me to where I am now and make me the person I am. I am the things that I do to other people. And that's the same thing with everyone else. That's why a lot of people want to turn to Christianity to just absolve themselves of the evils they've done. So, whatever. So yeah, there are a lot of people that turn to Christianity to escape drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, etc. But there are a lot of people that turn to it and don't escape that. So if your argument is only God can get you out of it, what about the people that did turn to God and then ended up overdosing and dying? What about them? They weren't really with God? Because now you're just playing, it only works. They were only with God if it works, which is just an improvable, totally fallacious argument. And becoming free and better people from following Jesus, which atheism never provides, nor provides any solutions to any major problems. Just, I don't see the problem with that. It doesn't provide a solution to a problem. Well, here's the thing: we're not your dad, buddy. We don't need some grand arbiter exhibiting just righteous justice upon us to tell us what is good or bad. We do what's good or bad based on our empathy towards other people. We live in society. Society propagates and exists and continues to exist with the existence of us cooperating with other people. That's the basis of every law ever written, is that, if you infract upon someone's peace, essentially, this is the most abstracted way of phrasing it, then you are in the wrong. But just causes you to be ignorant and an anti-theist for no logical reason besides having it out for God. Oh, because he doesn't do the thing the way you want him to. He doesn't do the things the way you say he does. Now, God not, this is a fallacious argument that a lot of atheists use. God, if there's suffering in the world, then God does not exist. No, that just proves that God doesn't operate the way that Christians present him to exist. However, if Christians then make the argument that God exists and, he is only good, then you can say, well, there you go. There is bad in the world, therefore God does not exist. We talked about this in the previous show with Jim Bob talking about where he just abstracted the term suffering to mean like bad things and just totally strawman the argument. Lord willing, I'll hop on the show and press him on this a little more. Well, there we go. It's all just off emotion. He doesn't have a real logical oh yeah, he's telling me about how my belief system is just all based on emotion because I feel better to feel this way. I don't feel one way or the other regarding Christianity or atheism. It doesn't make me feel better or worse. Because I grew up in America, I had, Christianity embedded and infused within me frequently coming up, right? I didn't feel any different than I do now. It's just the logical conclusions I've made based on the evidence I've observed. And I've done this show to invite theists to provide counter arguments to me directly, face to face. However, at the moment, they're not willing to discuss. Maybe as the show goes on. This guy's logic is circular as well and very arbitrary. He's just saying it's arbitrary. Sure. Literally, the Bible, like the entire existence of Christianity, believing in Christianity, is arbitrary. I just believe it because God done said so. That is arbitrary by definition. He says that morality comes from society, yet how does he know that? What do you mean, how do I know that? It's a logical conclusion that you can make. That's just basic logic. We propagate, the purpose of our existence, like, biologically, is to reproduce, right? I can observe from our society that if we live more peaceful lives where we don't steal from each other and kill each other and hurt each other, if we leave everyone alone and leave them to their own devices, people can get to mingle and know each other and reproduce. Now, obviously, there's way more to life than just reproducing. There's the friendships we make along the way. There's businesses we can build to enrich our communities, etc. But these all play into the same ecosystem of our species. It's odd, he can't even think of that, our species having an ecosystem that's that helps to serve our propagation. And it's an organic thing that we created as humans upon ourselves. Ever since the Magna Carta was written, we've decided we need laws. And by him saying that he admits that morality isn't objective, because if morality comes from societies, then at that point, who's to judge which society has the better moral provision? So what? Yeah, who is to judge? You? God? Is it better if God judges that this is better than that? Sure. This is another weird argument that, Christians, it's not even an argument, but they just make, okay, if God doesn't inform your beliefs, or, you don't get your beliefs from some predetermined, pre-established system, then where do you get your beliefs from? And where you get your beliefs from, what makes that any different from just your opinion? Well, here's the thing, that is my opinion. And I don't need anything beyond that. That is just my opinion. That's the conclusion that I make based on what I observe in just in reality, right? I think it's very mean to kill people, right? But that's my opinion. There are some people that are if someone crosses you or whatever, fuck them, blow them away. That's not my opinion, though. But, I've never seen any Puerto Rican Catholic drug dealers that are total gangbangers or anything. I've never seen that at all. Why does empathy matter in an atheistic world? Because we continue our society peacefully if we have empathy. We're all just matter in motion, all gonna die soon in his system. So, again, like, yeah, that's true. That's the reality of the world. But, like, you know, just because you'd prefer that to not be the case because you're placing some sort of oh, I don't like that. That's your conclusion. That's how the world is. So I'm going to add some deeper meaning to it. That doesn't mean that it's true. That just means that's just what you prefer. That's one of the reasons I stated earlier for why Christians are Christians, because they just simply prefer it. It puts their heart at ease that there's some greater meaning to the world. Whereas, you know, life doesn't need a greater meaning. The only way that you can actually give your own life meaning is when you decide what that meaning is and pursue it. So empathy is a very arbitrary metric he made up to justify his silly worldview, which has to steal from Christian is to make sense. What? Steal from Christians to make sense. What he's talking about, I guess, is how the establishment of laws. Like, the establishment of this country, for example, we'll use an example. Like, the Constitution was written through Christian-informed views. However, in the Constitution, it also wrote separation of church and state, but we'll talk about that another time. Because they understood that their religions were just their opinions at the end of the day. So, and then also in England, they were forced to be Christian. But yeah, just because laws were created originally to inform laws were created originally informed by Christianity or religion in general, that doesn't mean that it's the Christianity that made it good. This is the convention of the world as it was back in the 18th century. And this is why I hate going back and forth with atheism, because I literally lose brain cells talking to them, and they like to grant things that don't exist in their worldview. Just a weird long space there. Okay. Most of this was just complete, like, gibberish to begin with. was able to refute the weird suppositions he was making, like, you know, oh, well, under your worldview, there's no meaning to life. It's like, so? Like, why does there need to be one? You're just making an argument of preference. You're not making an argument of facts. Right, it is quite silly, though. Atheist cringe. Okay. That's a lot of words there, so I'm leaving this guy just where he is, you know. God willing, he'll come on the show. He's invited. Everyone's invited to come on the show. It's just if you piss me off like that, doing some shit where it's like, oh, I'm gonna debate you. Don't worry, I'm joining the VC. I'm waiting. Where are you? Because this is my show. I run it on my own schedule. This is at false equivocation due to the principle of falsifiability. Now let's inform our audience about the principle of falsifiability. A theory or hypothesis must be capable of being proven wrong through empirical evidence. Okay. Well, then you can't make any hypothesis under the principle of falsifiability under Christianity because you can just shift the goalpost and say, well, that part of the Bible was just a figure of speech, or they were being hyperbolic there, or whatever. Like, if it's because it's a book, you can literally say anything on it was just some of it's allegorical, some of it was factual. And that changes based on what the argument is. Faith is definitionally unfalsifiable. On the other hand, atheism is practically begging to be... Oh. Okay, this person... I think this person... I'm sorry for including you here. I think this person agrees with me. Please, just one crumb of evidence. We are standing by and eager to update our position to include any forces, natural or supernatural, that can be observed actually With the same degree of rigor we hold scientific observations to. We don't believe in science because some science man authority figure told us to, or because some dusty science tome demanded we do it, but we believe in it because we can go into just about any hobbyist, high school, or college lab and test the underlying principles for ourselves firsthand. Our own eyes, our own to tell, our own two eyes is what he meant. Wrong form of two, but it's fine. Yes, I am being favorable to him because he sides with me. Our own two eyes tell us what is true without needing to take anything on faith or testimony. Actually, very well articulated and said. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Josh Eeks, for that comment. It's nice to have some actual sane people in the world come and watch the show. We're gonna go to full screen here real quick as we queue up our final segment of the night. How are we? Let's check in on the chat here. You can't refute my message here. Like, okay, so what this guy is doing in chat is just stating things. The X is X. Prove me wrong. I could just say, you know, Spider-Man is real. Prove me wrong. Like I'd say I can fly when nobody looks at me. I can, you know, prove that wrong. The world was created last Friday. Prove me wrong. Okay, here we go. Back to the show. All right. So this is presidential action, establishment of the White House Faith Office. Now, this was under Trump, but it was initially a thing under Bush. Now, the White House Faith Office here. Now, that, to me, sounded extremely disturbing. What the hell is the Faith Office of the White House, and how is this not a contradiction of the First Amendment? Well, there's actually some legitimacy for it to exist. The main principle behind the White House Faith Office is to disperse funds to Christian, non-secular nonprofits to like feed the homeless, etc., and also secular efforts to do the same. So like the Salvation Army, and I guess I can't think of a non-secular one. We'll just say Habitat for Humanity. I don't know if they're secular or not. They're just using them as an example. What this office is meant to do, though, is that those funds needed to be distributed equally to secular and non-secular causes. And non-secular causes that receive those funds aren't allowed to use those funds for, like, proselytation. Hello, cultist. For proselytation purposes or to further their own Christian beliefs. Because, you know, here's the difference between, like, atheist organizations and Christian organizations. So atheist organizations are like NASA, the World Health Organization, anything to do with science. And those industries create like literally like life-saving or just revolutionary technology that like benefits all of us as a species. Neil deGrasse Tyson made this point. How, you know, because we have we fund NASA publicly, we have things like power tools with batteries, because doing NASA necessitated that we have power tools with batteries. They would just, they wouldn't really exist when they were created until, probably sometime later, because we had a division of the government, not a division of the government, but we had a government funded program thinking about the future, creating more for the future, creating science. Contra. You can't even write, dude. Like, you can't, sorry. Like this, he's actually really annoying, this guy in chat. I'm gonna put chat on screen next time so we can, like, discuss it further, but, like, let's put it on stream for you home viewers here. You can't refute my messages. I don't need to waste my time doing it. Okay. Anyways, back to this. Meanwhile, with, like, Christian organizations, they just sit in a room and praise God all day and accomplish nothing. They do literally absolutely nothing. They write more like Christian literature or something to try and indoctrinate people. But I mean, that's like that's the main difference. Any benefit to society that has been granted by theists was completely separate from their theist beliefs. So, there are Christian scientists, etc., but so long as those, their worldview isn't being informed by Christianity to make these these scientific advancements, then that is what makes it acceptable, because it is, devoid of Christianity, magic thinking, supernatural thinking. Anyways, so they are meant to fund these groups equally, secular and non-secular. However, I feel like that's a major conflict of interest, that you're funding a secular group and telling them, hey, do not be non-secular group, and telling them, hey, do not use this for Christian purposes. Well, this is a Christian organization, so obviously they're going to be inclined to use it for Christian purposes. If you go to the Salvation Army, what do you see? You see God, crucifixes everywhere, etc. You have free Bibles, Chick tracts you can take. Why don't you call into the show? Great point. I'm sure they're not using any of that government funding. But why am I bringing this up? The White House Faith Office. Well, the person that heads up the White House Faith Office is Paula Michelle White Cain, née Fur, who has the same birthday as Hitler, 1966. All right. We got a clip from her. If you give White House Faith Advisor Paula White $1,000 before Easter, she promises that you will receive 7 supernatural blessings. God will assign an angel to you. He'll give you prosperity. He'll take sickness away from you. He'll give you long life. She's selling indulgences. That's hilarious. Where's Martin Luther when you need him? Sorry, I'm just updating the thing here. Again, this is just myself here. But, like, that's egregious. That is just, like, there are even, like, other theists out there that are like, this is a vulgar display of just greed. To just, like, it's just corruption of people that are desperate to, have solutions. Because the people that would actually pay into this are going through really desperate shit right now. He'll take sickness away from you. He will give you long life, etc. And if these things don't happen, well, blame yourself because, you don't believe in God hard enough. Here we go.
And I believe that when you honor God on Passover, starting on April 12th at sundown through Good Friday on the 18th and concluding...
This looks like my show, you got the little thing in the corner, and then you got the glass, and then you got something to the side.
On Easter Sunday, you can receive these 7 supernatural...
My outset message can't be refuted. I'll repost it. God's revealingly our edgeless, all-wise, incestual affinitizer. Again, that's meaningless. Meaningless sentence. And also, if you're... So, we talked about this earlier. The concept of falsifiability, whatever it was. So, whatever. Anyone here can address it. Well, I've just addressed it, and it's completely meaningless sentence. And it's not an argument. Tune into the show if you want to clarify it. Otherwise, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
Blessings for you and your house. According to Exodus 23, God will assign an angel to you.
The 7 blessings of Passover. Be an enemy to your enemies? That's amazing. Let me look that up. What is Exodus? Exodus 23. That's awesome. That's really fucking hilarious. Exodus, 35. Okay. Oh, that's like right at the beginning. Page 35, not Exodus 35. I know what it is. Let's read. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Don't lie. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither thou shalt speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Do not bear false witness. Neither shalt... Okay, no, we got an argument in chat here. Can I call in and refute this guy's claim? He needs to come on the show and refute this claim. We're not gonna have two people just yelling at him in chat. It's not meaningless because you replied to it. I replied to you to tell you that it's meaningless. That was my reply. Jesus Christ. Fuck, you know what? Bye. You're gone. You're gone. If you're not gonna make an argument and you're not gonna call in, you're gone.
He'll be an enemy to your enemies.
You will be an enemy to your enemies. That's nuts. Let's get back to the Bible. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. If thou shalt see... Exodus is actually... This chapter is really long. All right. A friend of mine really wants to join the voice call and speak. All right. Let's have... Hello, Siri.
Okay, I want to say something. What he is saying is meaningless, but if you break down what he's saying incestual. I don't know if he means to say that, but that does just mean sexual relations among relatives. What the fuck are you talking about? I
don't curse.
Please call in. Please say you're still here. What the fuck are you on?
Don't curse.
Oh, I'm not allowed to swear?
I gotta edit this now to put it on TV. But...
Oh, my bad. Okay. What the freak are you on, dude? Please call in, I'm begging you. Because what you are saying...
I mean, he could be talking about, like, his own cyclical logic, how it's incestual. Sweet home Alabama, baby. Alright.
He's having sex with his fucking... with his freaking... God's having sex with his freaking sister or something? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Thank you for letting me on. Thank you for letting me on. I just wanted to point out that he's being stupid.
Alright, we're wrapping the show up here.
He'll give you prosperity. He'll take sickness away.
Wow, this is a pretty good deal, right? All you gotta do is pray to God and he'll give you this. I wonder what Paul White is saying how this can happen here. In the Bible, it just says pray to God and it'll make it happen. And then don't surprised when it doesn't happen. But here we go.
Away from you. He will give you long life. He'll bring increase in inheritance, and he'll give a special year blessing. You're not doing this to get something, but you're doing it in honor to God, realizing what you can receive.
For your special Passover offering.
Send this bitch $1,000? What the hell? That's insane. That's egregious. Honor God by sending me $1,000. Be sure you honor God. Anyone watching right now, send a super chat of $1,000 to honor God, please. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of $1,000 or more as the Holy Spirit leads. You will also receive the beautiful 10-inch
you'll get this cheap glass cross that looks like it literally came from like the corner of 5th and 36th.
Crystal cross. Don't miss your moment.
You're not doing it for something to receive something. You're only receiving it for forgiveness. You're only doing it to receive forgiveness for God, and He'll repay you with this. Whatever. That's
Crystal
so.
cross.
That's so.
Don't miss your moment to
horrible.
Release 7 supernatural blessings.
7 supernatural blessings. Who says this? Like, and doesn't like. This is what you would go to hell for, right? I'm not saying that this is like the average Christian, like even the average Christian is like, this is just you trying to leverage our faith to take advantage of us. But that's exactly what she's trying to do. She's trying to leverage your faith in God to believe in this thing. Because if you believe in God, obviously you're a pretty credulous person, so you'll fall for this stunt. All right. It's been an hour. I'm going to let you guys go. I really appreciate the interaction on this episode. It was really quite humorous, quite interesting. A lot of dumb Christians we exposed tonight. Just yapping in the chat. I'll join you on call. I'll join you, and then he doesn't join. Wastes time, wastes the show, just is disruptive. So yeah. Next show 2 Sundays from now. That will be the 13th. Tune in if anyone has an issue with what I've said. Discord server up at the top here. If you're watching on television, Discord server up at the top here. You can talk to me directly. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.